I'm going to show you how I scout out locations to park for tonight. My windows are like a limousine tent, legal on the backside, and I got cardboard up. You seen how I did my tent and cardboard on the inside. No one can see in. You can't even see light from the outside. Anyway, because it's summertime, or not quite summertime, but it's starting to get warm, but at nights are comfortable. But I think about the early morning when the sun hits the car, right? No matter what your tent is, you still got a sheet metal roof, so you're going to burn up in the sun. So you always got to orientate it toward where the sun's coming from. So the sun's rising up in the east, setting in the west, right? So orientate your Google Maps to the north. Here I am, the blue dot. You see that blue dot? That's me right there. Anyway, I got to access my storage tomorrow, so I want to be close to the area, and I'm trying to limit my mileage, but I got to be safe too. So I know the areas where I live, so I know that also I can't live in, park certain places in town very safely. So I look for a middle class type of neighborhood. No neighborhood is perfectly safe, so it doesn't matter where you go really, but give your preponderance of the doubt and be as safe as possible. So I find these like more high-end apartments or street parking. I'm looking for one now, actually. Here it is. Anyway, these apartments over here, these Chesapeake Common apartments, these are really nice, pretty decent apartments, fairly high-end. There's a hospital nearby, a cafe, stuff like that. And if you zoom in like this, you'll see there's street parking. So you want to look for street parking. Then the next you want to see how you're orientated. So what's to the right of my screen? The right of my screen, if you look at the orientation of the arrow right there, right? That's north with the red's pointing up, right? So I want the sun's going to be hitting the east. Now, if I'm in the open, there's no trees there. See what this car is? There's no trees. There's nothing blocking the sun when it rises in the morning. So scroll down. You see how I'm scrolling? Look at that. See those big apartments? They look like they're 2 stories at least. And look at that tree. See that shade right there? You want to find stuff like that. Because you're going to be able to sleep till like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning if you want. Like I keep late hours anyway, so a lot of times I wait till everyone's asleep before I park so no one notices me crawling in the back. And I look for stuff like this. Oh, this shade, a fairly well-to-do area with a mix of houses and apartments. Houses are kind of a no-go most of the time unless you get a long fence line on the side of a house where the property owner is not going to notice you on the side there because there's other cars from the other neighbors there. But I look for apartments because no one can keep track of each other's cars, especially on the street parking. And I look for being amongst cars, not away from cars. If you're away sitting by yourself, you're a target. You want to be amongst cars, but give yourself little room to get in and out and give yourself a little bit of shade, but not too much shade, but enough to where the sun's going to be blocked from hitting you. If you're in a really dark spot because of the shade, you're a target for thieves. They see that and they see no light on you. Sometimes they target vehicles like that. So sometimes I would just put up with the light from an overhead lamp or something because I'm not going to see it from inside anyway. And then that light, that overhead street lamp, would dissuade anyone from breaking into my vehicle. And trust me, guys, if you're standing out by yourself, let's say, you see all these cars and you're afraid to be next to them, so you park way down the end of the block in the open where nobody is, like let's say right here, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. You understand what I'm saying? To both police and other people. So you want to be stealth. You want to find buildings. You want to find multiple cars. Get yourself a little bit of shade and be safe. Just park between like these 2 cars right in here. Something like that. Or right in over here. Like this spot right here would be good. And you look at it. Bring it up. And you kind of scream. See that? Ain't no one going to notice you there. You see that fence line? Ain't no one in the property that owns that. It's a public street. You see that gap between the cars? You can park there. See them trees? That's shade. That's what you want. That's a decent street. It's not too busy late at night. I've been on it. That's another thing. Stay away from really busy streets because you might get hit while you're on parking. And don't sleep on the left side of your car when you park on a curb like this. The other alternative is go to Planet Fitness and hope they don't have security monitoring the parking lot and sneak in places like that. So that's how I do it, guys. I'm not saying I'm sleeping there night, so don't come fucking haunt me, all right? Plus, I'm posting a video tomorrow, so fuck off. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Remember that spot I was telling you about? Well, I decided to park here, but I'm not posting a video tomorrow. There's a big old tree right there. See all the light? There's a street lamp. I don't want to be directly underneath that because it might fall and kill me, but I like that light because people are less likely to break in a vehicle if there's a bunch of light showing on down on them. So I always park. I don't see that light from in the back of my vehicle. It's totally blacked out, so it don't bug me. Bugs me in the front of the car, sure, but not in the back. So I like that, and then it's kind of wide open. Now I do like a vehicle a little closer to my backside, just in case you get crazies in there, because I notice there is a little traffic occasionally on this road, and they go pretty fast. So I'll like somebody like 3 to 4 feet off my bumper. That way, maybe the car will hit them before it hits me, you know? So I always think like that. So you got to be leery of that a little bit. That's just the risk to living this kind of car life. Other than that, I recommend like residential housing areas with little side yards that have a fence line where there's no access to like an RV gate. So you're not blocking the guy's property in any kind of way. And as far as like getting in the back, because I have to crawl through the tailgate, I wait a little bit, make sure no one's like on a balcony observing me sitting here suspiciously. There's somebody walking up. I'll look to see if anyone's walking around the neighborhood, casing out cars, stuff like that. I do stuff like that. And if it looks like someone's casing out cars and they look suspicious, then I move on and find another place. Because I saw that last night, pair of guys in the neighborhood, and they looked really suspicious. They were walking by every car and looking in the window. So I'm like, fuck that. I ain't going to park on there. I mean, I'm in the vehicle, so they're not going to take anything when I'm in the vehicle, but they are going to end up breaking my windows because they don't know I'm there. So I'd rather save myself the heartache of a broken window and having to defend myself or anything like that. The other thing to do when you park for the night, before you pick your spot, like I scouted it out the way I showed you on Google Earth and Google Maps or whatever, is you want to get all your blackout stuff in place before you get to the destination so that you're not in the back throwing up cardboard as someone's looking at you. Now, the people walking here look pretty decent. They're not crooked looking to me, so it just let people out for walking one night pretty much. It's pretty damn late though. It's almost midnight, so it's weird, but these are pretty nice apartments. So people work various hours because there's a lot of late night businesses. This guy looks weird, but he walked by me and maybe he was checking on his car, maybe. Could have been it. People are paranoid. They'll check on their vehicles on the street sometimes to double check, or if they left something in the vehicle. He don't look like a burglar. I wouldn't dress like him if I was a burglar. I'd have pants on, and you look the role kind of. And burglars do look a certain way, because usually the people that do shit like that, they have a look, and you know right away who they are. So I black out everything first at another spot. Take care of all my tidies, brushing teeth, anything I got to do that's major. I'm down. What the hell was that? Sound like a growl. I think it's a car. Anyway, I get down to shorts and tank top, so I don't got much to take off when I'm in it because I don't want the vehicle rocking back and forth. And I keep it quiet and I keep the light subdued, even though you can't see my light. That's the routine for the night. I'm gonna crash, guys, and because it's already midnight and it gets hot around 7 or 8. I've got a pretty good tree above me. I should have shade in the morning, at least for a few hours, so I could probably sleep in to like 8, 9 at least before it gets too warm. I was sleeping in here, 11 and noon. It was pretty warm, but I managed it because I was just up like to 2 in the morning one night and woke up like an ungodly early morning hour and haven't slept. So sleep is important. It's hard when you're in a vehicle if you're not used to it. So you want to get used to it. You do it before you take on this kind of life. Practice a couple of nights out on the street doing stealth parking, whatever you need to do. Unless you're traveling and going to campsites, that's not really van life. not for the working adults or the people that have to live in cities. That's not how it's really done. It's done stealthily. Otherwise, you're just another one of the homeless that don't care if you're seen. Me, I care if I'm seen. I care if I'm heard. I don't want to be bugged, and I don't want to bug anybody. So that's how I get by. All right, guys, I'm going to cut out. Later. Bye.